Welcome to Military Justice and the Law, presented to you by Bulelani Tseu. And on today's episode, I'll be discussing three interrelated concepts, namely military law, military justice, and military discipline. It is often said that words are easily understood when they are clearly defined. So I will be embarking on that journey. Military law is generally defined as a body of laws, rules, and regulations that govern the relationship between the military and its members, in other words, soldiers, sailors, and airmen. But in certain instances, such laws also include civilian contractors who are attached to the military during deployments and exercises. So such laws relate to various aspects. For example, administrative matters are covered, contractual matters are covered, law of armed conflict, human rights law, as well as military justice, among others, find relevance in military law. So the focus here will not be on the other components of military law, but on military justice. So military law and military justice, most people often use those terms, interchangeably. However, in my view, the meaning or meanings to be attached to those concepts differ somehow or to a certain extent. So in other words, military justice is part of military law, just like a finger is a part of the hand. It is not the hand, so it will be wrong to equate military law to military justice. An analogy can be found in the criminal justice system, because criminal justice system, is a tool to enforce criminal law. So I hold the view that military justice system must be seen in the same light as a tool to enforce military law. So it would be wrong really to think that the two concepts, mean the same thing. They are distinct, yet interrelated, as I've already alluded to. So sources of military law can be found in various instruments within the context of South Africa. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, several defense legislation and other relevant legislation. They deal with the aspect of military law. So then one may ask himself a question: why military justice? Why can't soldiers be tried in the criminal courts? Well, the answer to that is simple. Soldiers can be tried in the criminal courts even for unique military matters. So essentially, criminal courts have jurisdiction to try soldiers who commit military offenses as well as criminal offenses and other offenses that are contained in other legislation. But then, why the existence of this parallel system of justice? Well, the answer lies in the purpose of the two systems. Criminal justice system is concerned with maintaining law, order, and tranquility in the society. And that is done through the combating of crimes and criminality. So that is the purpose of the criminal justice system. However, military justice system has a different purpose, and its purpose is the maintenance of military discipline. So that is what is the difference. Then one may ask, what is then this military discipline? It has been defined by many commentators as an ability or a willingness to obey orders as given by superiors. And that virtue is inculcated by means of training, and also, some soldiers inherently, they have their own discipline from home and they would like to do the right things, without faith. However, certain soldiers require, some system to discipline them in order to act within the boundaries of military law. So it lies there in the purpose. And moreover, these two systems of justice are distinct. What is punishable in certain instances as a crime, a military crime, in the civilian sector is not viewed in that serious light. So, for example, a soldier who goes absent, without leave, the law says that such a soldier can be punished, by imprisonment not exceeding 1 year. So he is viewed as a criminal. However, when one looks at the civilian employment, a person who fails to pitch for work is not viewed as a criminal. He is basically viewed as a labor delinquent. And that person can be dismissed. He won't be sent to prison. Just like soldiers, can be in similar circumstances. So that's where this whole issue lies. Then now, what is therefore the importance of this military discipline? One American general, as far back as in 1759, General George Washington, he made a statement that holds true even to this day, that discipline is the soul of the army. It makes small numbers formidable, and it gives esteem to the weak. So now, within the context, therefore, of South Africa, Section 200, subsection 1 of the Constitution is clear that the South African National Defence Force must be managed and structured as a disciplined military force. This is to enable it to be able to discharge its constitutional obligations. And the constitutional obligation of the South African National Defence Force is documented in Section 200, subsection 2 of the Constitution, which stipulates that the primary object of the SANDF is to protect the sovereignty of the Republic, as well as the freedom of its people, in accordance with the law and international principles regulating the use of force. So, one, therefore, will have to look at the fact that what happens when the soldiers are ill-disciplined? Can our soldiers be in a position to discharge their constitutional obligation? In my view, an ill-disciplined soldier is nothing else but a potential criminal. For even wars are fought within the confines of the law. So if ever now a soldier fails to adhere to that, there's a fine line between being a hero and being a war criminal. So in times of peace, therefore, soldiers are trained so that they can understand that when the war breaks, whatever they learned during the training will have to be applied during war times, as we train, as we fight. So, essentially, military discipline knows no holidays. it must be maintained at all times. And military justice system exists for that purpose, to ensure or to enhance the maintenance of military discipline. So, in my view, it will be therefore wrong to expect civilian criminal courts to have a full understanding of what is happening in the military. By reason that military justice, military law, and the understanding of what military discipline entails is, a specialized environment. So it requires somebody who understands that. Right. So in this episode, I've basically explained these three distinct concepts. For a reason that will be clear later on, because criminal justice system and military justice system, as I've already alluded to, are unique systems of justice. So essentially, I've made mention of the fact that military law and military justice are not synonyms, are not equals, because military justice system is but a part of military law, and it is aimed at enhancing military discipline, which basically, is a phenomenon that cannot be dispensed with in the military environment. So that is basically all that I wanted to cover in this episode. So going forward, especially the next couple episodes, I'll be discussing aspects relevant to the administration of military justice in South Africa, a historical overview. We will be going back in time as to where this military justice comes from and where we are at this current moment will be dealt with, subsequent to that. So I'd like to thank everybody for paying attention. I hope you have learned a thing or two. Now you can understand the difference between military justice, military law, and military discipline. So until next time, take care. Don't forget to press the subscribe button in order to ensure that we continue giving you the high quality of information. It would take a long time to prepare these episodes because they involve research. So please support the show. Until next time, as I said,